In this video, I'm going to talk about conversational user interfaces and how it compares with graphical user interfaces, and what are the key differences and when you should choose one or the other. So, I'll explain the difference between conversational and graphical user interface in a much more simpler way. So, I think that conversational user interface gives you random access to your application, whereas graphical user interface kind of gives you a sequential access. What I mean by that is that in a graphical user interface, you have to browse through and click through many buttons to reach the right place where your job can be done versus when you compare with conversational user interface. As a user, you just come to the application and you type in what you want to do, and that flow gets triggered, or the action gets taken. So you don't really have to browse through um, a set of buttons and pages to reach your destination where your work can be done. And now that kind of leads directly to when you should use conversational user interface. So I think that if your application does a lot of things, it has a lot of functionality that it gives to its users, then a conversational user interface can be a better choice because it kind of makes sure that your application is not cluttered with a lot of buttons and options through which the user can reach the right places or right pages where they can do the right things. And conversational user interface will give a very simple user interface that you come and type in what you want to do, and then it kind of gets triggered, or it gets done. uh, of course, now where should you use conversational user interface? So one is pretty clear that if you have an application that provides a lot of functionality, then probably conversational user interface would be the right choice. Compared to that, if you have an application which needs just one or two pages and a few buttons and a few forms, then probably a GUI interface would be the right choice. And of course, we see that the other side advantage of conversational user interface, especially for applications which can do a lot of different things, is the training cost. That if you have a graphical user interface, you have to train your users in how to use the application. When you are providing a conversational user interface, then the training cost can be reduced significantly. And we see that the most of the users of conversational user interface is a customer facing application, where of course your customers don't have any interest in getting trained in a very complex application that you have built for them. So a conversational user interface kind of gives the right set of incentives for them to start using it. And of course, the other benefit of conversational user interface is uh, pretty common, that you see that once you build a conversational application, you can potentially deploy it now in other conversational or chat-based platforms like WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger or Microsoft Teams or Slack. And that also clearly is the other benefit of building a conversational user interface. Thanks. Hope that helps.